Hello everyone, welcome back. We're getting ready today. I really have nowhere to be, but I do have to go to Barnes & Noble to just pick up a book that's been put on hold for me. And I'll probably go get a matcha and just kind of see where the day takes me. So we're gonna get ready together, and I'm also gonna kind of just tell you some things about me, especially since I'm kind of starting a little bit more fresh on my YouTube. I feel like there's people who might not know me. So if you care to get to know me, then watch this video. I'm gonna tell you a couple fun facts about me. This is my everyday makeup look. I have been in such a rut when it comes to my makeup, and I feel like it's no longer fun for me to do it. It feels like a chore, and it feels like something that I don't want to do. So hopefully filming it and talking to you guys feels a little bit more fun for me and gives me more motivation to do my makeup and stuff. So without further ado, let's begin. Our first step is to hydrate, always. I got this cutie little cup from like a Friday night market that we have that's over here, and it says just a girl with an endless TBR. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? I love it. So I forget what the brand is, but it was really cute. My skin is already prepped. I always prep my skin so that it's very nice and like smooth surface, and obviously skincare is the most important part to your makeup routine to have your makeup look good. So I use the 𝓢𝓨 77 Heartleaf Hyaluron Soothing Toner. I love this stuff. It's so good. And then I've also recently been using the 𝓤𝓪 toner. It's like the milky, is this even focusing? Hello? It's the 𝓤𝓪 Milky Toner. This stuff has been so amazing to my freaking skin. I love it. It literally makes it feel like it's taking a big drink of water. And then also I always go in with a SPF, or at least I've been trying to do better at going in with an SPF. This is a Korean brand. This is, what is it? Round Lab. And it's a SPF 45 sunscreen. And it's so good for underneath my makeup because it's like very hydrating, but it's very thin. Doesn't leave a white cast or anything. I really enjoy it, and it's been very good for my skin recently. Two concealers, always the Tarte Shape Tape, and then also the Tower 28. See, doing your makeup and like filming it and talking to people is so much more fun than just going in my bathroom and like rushing really quick. I feel like it's more of just a task recently, and I hate that feeling. Makeup used to be so fun for me to do, and it was like therapeutic, and now it just kind of feels like, oh, it's task, you know? Anyways, for those of you who don't really know me or haven't watched my content before or are new here or whatever, my name is Shania, and I'm 29 years old. I live in the Tampa Bay, Florida area. I'm originally from Massachusetts though. I'm definitely a Florida girly, but I really miss Massachusetts a lot. That's like where all my family is. I don't like the cold though, so it's like it's a little bit of like a push and pull. It's like I love Florida. I don't think I'll really ever leave Florida, to be honest with you. I love the beach too much. My family is here, my friends are here, but I really love Massachusetts. Every time I go, Boston is so beautiful, and the weather is great if you go at like the perfect time. But yeah, it's kind of a push and pull, you know. I wish like I got the opportunity to travel over there a little bit more just to see my family and stuff and go during the good season. But love Florida, big Florida girly. I love the beach. I love the warm weather occasionally. We moved here when I was like 3 or 4 years old, something like that. So I've lived here my entire life, to be clear. Going in with my Rare Beauty Contour Bronzing Stick. I love this stuff. This is so good. This is the shade Happy Soul. It's very creamy, very pigmented. It blends amazing. So some of my hobbies are reading, obviously. I love to read. I've always liked reading since I was little, and especially in like high school. I was always reading a book. There was always a book in my hand. And then as I got older and went into college and stuff, I just kind of fell off of reading and hadn't read a book in a very, very long time until about 3 years ago is when I picked up Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover and fell back in love with reading again, and completely just ignited like this new era of my life. So it really just kind of kick-started all of my reading journey so far, and then I decided I wanted to make a book talk. I didn't even know that there was a community out there of people who were so passionate about reading, and that there was a whole corner and community on TikTok and all of the other platforms on social media where people got together and talked about like their love for books. So that was amazing. And I've always loved content creation as well. When I was like in high school and in college, I always wanted to be an influencer. I grew up with like the OG beauty content creators, and like Jaclyn Hill was my idol at that time. You know, Nikki Tutorials, Manny MUA, literally all those people, Bethany Moda. Like those were the people that I watched when I was growing up, and I loved always makeup. I've always loved makeup because of them. So I really wanted to be a makeup YouTuber, makeup guru, and always wanted to do lifestyle and fashion content and stuff. And I did for a hot minute. My YouTube channel was definitely trying to be a makeup artist and do makeup content, and I did okay. It was more cute and more of like a hobby than anything, but you know, when you're that young and stuff too, it's hard to keep going, and it's hard to keep it up, I guess, when you don't have a lot of the tools and time and everything to kind of set you up for success. And I feel like I just kind of wasn't seeing any return in it, and I wasn't seeing like numbers or followers, so I kind of just ended up giving up, I guess. Like honestly, I just kind of gave up. So making content, being a content creator and influencer, like always been something that I wanted to do and always something that I wanted to pursue. But I feel like it wasn't until about, you know, 3 years ago that I was really gonna sit down and be dedicated to doing this. And I was like, no, I can do this. I see other people doing it. I've always wanted to do it in my life. And so I bought a tripod and I bought like a little ring light thing, and I was like, this is gonna be my time. I'm gonna do it. And I've just been able to have a lot of fun on the internet since then, and just been able to create content that I love and read books that I love and meet people. And I've had such absolutely amazing experiences and opportunities and stuff. So it's really great when you actually pursue something that you've been wanting to do for a very long time, and you kind of kick yourself and you're like, why did I not just stick with it like earlier? Why did I not go into this earlier, you know? But timing is everything, and there's always a time for you to do what you want to do. I also am a huge weeb. I love anime. I love anime, I love manga, I love all things like Japanese culture. I've been learning to speak Japanese for 4 years now. That was something that honestly I would not have even thought about doing something like that or watching anime in the first place if it was not for my husband. Seriously. I'm using the Huda Beauty powder, by the way. This is my favorite. It literally makes my skin look like I have a freaking filter on it. It's amazing. But yeah, when I started dating my husband, we had been going out for a couple months, and I always knew that he was an anime guy and always loved anime and stuff, and I was just kind of like, all right, that's fine. It's not for me, but you know, go off. And he was literally like, hey, I want you to sit down and like, I want you to start watching an anime. If you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to keep watching it if you don't like it. But I want you to try, and I really want to see like what you think, you know? And I was like, okay, like I'm always down to try new things and do new experiences. And especially when it's like, you know, your partner and it's a new relationship, you want to do everything to kind of get into their world and get to know them better and experience the things that they love and stuff. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. And so the first anime that I ever watched was My Hero Academia. And like we watched, I think maybe 2 or 3 episodes together. And then I started watching it on my own so I could catch up to the part that he was at so we could watch it more together. And I fell in love with it. It was so good. At first you don't understand it, and then you keep going and you're like, holy shit, this is like pure cinema genius. I'm telling you, animes are like, I think, better than any modern day show that's on television right now. You can hate me all you want, but it's seriously, some animes are better than actual shows that are out there. So yeah, definitely have my husband to thank for my anime obsession for sure. Anyway, so one day after watching anime for a while, I thought to myself, because I love to try new things, and once I hyperfixate on something and have an idea, I can't sleep until I do it. I thought to myself, I want to speak Japanese. I want to be able to watch anime without the subtitles, and I want to be able to immerse myself in this culture. It's a beautiful culture. I love everything about it. I would love to travel there one day, and I love their food. I love their respect for one another. I love their shows. I love their movies. I love everything about this culture. And anime really did start to kick off that whole like love and appreciation for it. And I've also just always wanted to learn another language. I think it's really important to be multilingual. And is that a word? Multilingual? Bilingual? I think it's important to be able to speak multiple languages. I'm Spanish. I'm half Puerto Rican from my mom's side, and I never learned how to speak Spanish when I was younger, so I probably should have went with Spanish instead of Japanese, but I didn't want to go that way. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna start learning Spanish. No, I'm gonna start learning Japanese. And I looked up on like how to even begin learning a language. And I got myself textbooks and I downloaded apps, and I ended up just doing everything self-study, and it kind of just stemmed from there. And now 4 years later, I'm conversationally fluent. I've been to Japan 3 times now with my husband. We went on our honeymoon for the first time, and I've gone back twice since. I have tons of friends who live in Japan. I have 3 different teachers who I do lessons with regularly and still study with them. And I'm able to connect with other Japanese people and other people in this community who love to speak the language and love anime and everything about the Japanese culture. And I feel like every time we go back to Japan, it truly kind of feels like a home away from home for us. And it's not just like wanting to go and travel and like see what the hype is. Like I feel like at first, yeah, that it's always like that for people. Now it's like we have people that we want to see there. We have places that we love and want to return to. And we just have such like a very closeness to the country and the culture and the language and stuff. So it's been really great for us to bond over and for us to experience together. And I mean, if there's anyone that you're going to want to travel the world to and share your interests and love for things with, it's your partner. So it's great that we have each other to be able to do that. And I love being able to speak another language. It's so fun. Sorry, I forgot to tell you what products I was using. This is the Milani bronzer, and it's a silky matte bronzer in Suntan. And then this is the Sae Super Suede blush in Stella. I love this color so much. It's very subtle, and it kind of has like this sheenness to it. It's really, really pretty. I've also been loving this Dior. It's the Backstage Glow Maximizer palette. Oh my god. It is so freaking pretty. It has the most subtle glow to it, where it's not like overpowering. It's great for every day. It's so nice. I really just kind of swirl all of the colors together. Put it all over my cheekbones, my nose. I do my brows off camera because that takes way too long, but I use the Rare Beauty brow pencil. It's the Brow Harmony Precision Pencil in cool brown. I can't freaking read today. This is the eyeshadow palette that I use every single day, and I literally get asked so many questions about what I have on my eyes all the time, especially in my videos, because I feel like it really shimmers. This is Ramen D. This is the Better Than Palette 01 Pompous Garden. This is what the back of it looks like. You can find it on Amazon. I can put in my Amazon storefront for you guys to see it. I get mine also at a Korean grocery store that has kind of like this little cosmetic store within it, and they sell them there too. This is my favorite color palette. It's so pretty. It has pinks, neutrals, kind of peachy undertones. That's my kind of eye look that I go for. I do the same exact thing every single day. I don't change up anything about my makeup routine. If I do, it's like new products, but it's the same look. You know what I mean? Here are some other things about me. I love matcha. You guys probably already know that. I freaking love matcha. It's one of my favorite things to drink and enjoy. I love making it at home. I love going to cafes. I love coffee. I'm very much a homebody. I love being home. I have 2 dogs, Juniper and Poppy. We've had Juniper since she was maybe 10 weeks old, 8 weeks old. And then we just got Poppy about 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago at this point, 2.5. and she was a rescue from a local rescue here in Tampa. They're both doodles. Juniper is a golden doodle and Poppy is a labradoodle. We did some test results on Poppy because obviously she was a rescue, so it's hard to say exactly what they are. They told us that she was a labradoodle, but I wanted to make sure 100%. So they do this like saliva test and they send it in at the vet and they can do testing and see like all of their genetic like background and all their genetic history and stuff, and turns out she is a labradoodle, so more poodle than she is lab. So it's really interesting. They're very, very different, but they're very similar at the same time. I've worked in social media for over 10 years now. It's not necessarily what I went to school for, but it's what I started interning as. I interned at a marketing agency in Tampa in around 2018, just about. Not really sure what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to do marketing and work in that kind of field, and didn't really know what, but then I found social media and we were like, yeah, let's go with social media. And I was kind of good at that already and I liked it and it was interesting to me, so I just kind of stuck with that. And I've worked in that ever since. So social media, content creation for companies, brands, I've gone corporate, and now I am unemployed and I'm doing this full time as of right now. I recently quit my job in December because I just needed to get out of that environment, quite frankly. Sometimes in your career, professionally and personally, things just don't make sense, and it didn't make sense for me to keep staying there. I was very unhappy and there was a lot of big changes that were happening that I wasn't agreeing with and weren't gonna benefit me in any shape or form. So the best thing for me at that time was just to leave and just take a break and kind of figure out what my next step is gonna be. And that's very okay if you go through that and you say to yourself, you know what, I need a reset. I need to just take some time for me, figure out what I need to do in order for me to be happy mentally and physically. And you know, luckily I have a very supportive husband and I have supportive friends and family who understood completely. And so I'm able to just kind of take this time to focus on the things that I love, which is videos and content creation, and really pouring my heart into the things that I love and care about. I'm still applying for jobs. I'm still interviewing for jobs. I literally have interviewed, I think, for like 4 or 5 jobs now, and I have not gotten anything. And those are only in the past like 3 months. And I haven't heard anything back, or I haven't gotten them or something like that. So I'm still looking. And these are the colors I used on my eyes. I used these 3 in my outer corner and in my like crease, and then I used this one all over my lid, which gives it the nice sparkle. It's so pretty. I've also recently, I've changed up my routine the slightest bit. Now I'm just adding a little bit of eyeliner. I never used to do that, and now if I have time or if I want to just kind of amp things up a little bit, I've been adding a little eyeliner to my, like a little wing to my look. This is the Judy Doll Slim Liquid Eyeliner in black. This is what the tube looks like. This is what the applicator is. Is that not insane? It is so tiny, so thin. I'm like scared because it's so fine and precise that it's like a lot of pressure to get it right, but I have to be quiet and I have to really like concentrate. So give me a minute, okay? Don't talk, don't breathe, don't say anything to me while I'm doing this. This requires the utmost concentration. Beautiful. Now I have to do the same exact thing on the other eye. I don't breathe and I do that. Oh. Oh no, I've messed up. I've made a grave mistake. Oh my god, I've messed up entirely. What is that? What do I do? Okay, you know what? It's good enough where it's like almost even that I don't think anyone will really notice, and I will notice really, and it'll just annoy me and piss me off for the rest of the day. Okay, we're almost done. So let me give you a rundown of some of my favorite books that I absolutely love, and maybe that'll tell you even more about me than anything that I've yapped about today. I feel like you can tell a lot about a person when it comes to what their favorite books are. So let's see if you can diagnose me or tell me what kind of person I am based off of the books that I love. One of my favorite book series ever, I have a couple, but one of my favorite book series is Magnolia Parks. I absolutely love Magnolia. I love Daisy. I love everything about that series. It's made me cry. I think that the characters are just so flawed and so real. Their stories and Jessa Hastings' writing is so beautiful. My other favorite books is Love in Other Words. It's so romantic. It is just so heartfelt, and that is truly, I'm such a like hopeless romantic, so books like that just make my heart feel so warm and just make me feel so happy. Love in Other Words, Archer's Voice. I love Archer's Voice. Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. Love Noah Riley. When it comes to fantasy books, I love Heartless Hunter, which is the Crimson Moth duology. Both of those books mean so much to me. I read them last year and they were some of my favorite reads that I read last year, especially as a duology and just as far as like young adult fantasy romantasy books go. I love Anna Huang. I love the Twisted series, the Kings of Sin series by her. I actually got to meet her in New York last year for, it was the King of Envy. The King of Envy book release party. It was so amazing. I got invited by Bloom and by her, and it was such a fantastic experience. Also love Megan Quinn. She's one of my favorite rom-com authors. I think she's absolutely fantastic. She writes some of the most funny and spicy and just comical books that you would ever read. I also really like The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. Clearly, I just love Jessa Hastings' writing. A Love Letter to Whiskey. I'm telling you, romance and messy plots. I love toxic relationships, and I love reading about miscommunication and people who just can't get their damn relationships to work. Fantasy is not my #1 genre though, so if you're ever looking for fantasy recommendations or looking for someone to talk about fantasy books in depth, I'm not your girl for that, to be honest. I'm just not a fantasy gal like that. Sometimes reading fantasy books makes me feel very dumb because I feel like I just can't keep up with the plot, and it's a lot of world building, and I love fluffy romances, and I love, like I said, toxic romances and, you know, really great stories and beautiful stories. And I love fantasy books, but it takes me a while to get into them, and when I do, like, I'll be reading it for a very long time. And I won't really be able to tell you all the details about it, but I'll be able to tell you that I vibed with it and that it was good and that I enjoyed it. I don't really read mystery and thriller too much, but when I do, it's typically like Freida McFadden. Love her. Riley Sager. Right now I'm reading Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh. I love going in with the Benetint on my lips. It gives it the most pretty color and pretty tint. Then I'm going in with the Makeup by Mario lip pencil in Rich Mauve. I just like to fill in my whole lips with this too. And then recently I've been loving this Rare Beauty lip gloss. This is the, I forget what this is called, but I think it's like the Light Flicker something. I don't know, but it's called Flicker lip gloss. So pretty though. It has like these flecks in it, almost glitter, but it's not chunky. It's just shimmery. It's so nice. Oh, it's so pretty. Do you see that? Okay, we're almost done. I'm just gonna set my face with the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. I like this, but it's not very hydrating, but it does hold my makeup, which is good. Her hair out. I already curled my hair with my beach waver, so this is the aftermath of that. It's just gonna go into a clip anyway, so this is the finished look. Thank you guys for getting ready with me today though. I hope you enjoyed this look and learning a little bit more about the products that I use and just a little bit more about me. I know I was yapping a lot, but it was just like a little chit chat session just to get to know each other, that was all. Make sure that you like this video and subscribe so that you never miss another moment here on YouTube. And also make sure that you're following me on all my other social channels so you don't miss out on all the other exclusive content, and we have other avenues of communication and other ways that we can keep up with each other. Until next time.